Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. And before we get into today's video, remember that life is not happening to you, but happening through you. When you become the change you seek to experience, you're going to experience that change everywhere you go. And you are showing the world how to treat you based on what you believe and feel about yourself. Not only that, you're creating your reality on a moment-to-moment basis, contingent on the meaning and the value that you assign to the things that are going on around you. Whether or not the things showing up in your life can make you feel intimidated and defeated and like it's impossible, like it's never going to change, or if you can take a step back and really ask yourself how you're feeling, how you're looking at these things, how you're valuing them. If you can go in a new direction, build some new belief, create a new awareness, and really see that you can achieve it, you can turn it around, you can get exactly what you want, and you actually land in that feeling state and in that awareness, you're going to be able to persist in a way that actually creates you the results that you desire. Before we get into today's video, okay, I do want to say I am using a new mic right now, so I hope that the sound is coming in a lot more clearly. I know it's been cutting out a little bit in the previous videos, so but it should be good now. Okay. The other thing is in my community tab, I posted probably about a week ago that I was going to be making a new self-concept affirmation recording. I'm still working on that. I should have that posted either tonight or tomorrow. Okay. So in today's video, though, I just want to go back to the basics of kind of understanding self-concept, understanding why changing your beliefs is important, and then how to persist. Okay. So I'm going to just list out what we're going to be talking about here, as I always do, you guys. Just so you can see if this video applies to you. If this is not your first time here on my channel, then you know I've talked about self-concept plenty. If this is your first time here on my channel, then your self-concept is the beliefs that you hold about yourself, the beliefs that you have about different aspects of your life, the assumptions that you're making. And you're going to see that as you change your beliefs about what you believe you're worthy of, what you believe you're deserving of. And also you change how you view things like relationships or money or career and how easy or difficult it is to sustain or keep those things in your life. If you can take the focus off of everything else that's going on and purely work on those beliefs, get into a new feeling state and have a new awareness of your reality, you're going to see that making this change within yourself actually allows for you to experience this physical manifestation of what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so that's just kind of a basic overview of what self-concept is. And we're going to be diving deeper into that in this video. So I'm going to be talking about self-concept and perception. And I'm going to be using a quote by Neville Goddard. I don't have the exact quote, so I'm kind of paraphrasing it. But if you've read Neville Goddard before, then it's not going to be, you guys are going to recognize the quote. So if I don't say it properly, I know I'm paraphrasing. Okay, we're going to talk about looking at everything as feedback. We're going to also dive into how your perception of your reality is really just a byproduct of your beliefs. And that's why it's important to work on your self-concept, because when you are in pressing circumstances and you're looking at everything and feeling like it's impossible or difficult or hard, that to me, in my opinion, the way that you are perceiving it is a manifestation of your beliefs. And it's going to be really difficult to sustain the results that you desire or get into a new feeling state if your perception of your reality is forcing you to see problems, limitations, challenges, feeling like what is going on in front of you is real and that's it, and you can't be able to achieve anything past that. So that's why your beliefs are really important. We're going to go deeper into that though, okay? The last two things I'm going to finish on are feeling state and persisting, okay? And then really what I mean by having an awareness shift. Okay, so I'm going to touch on not questioning anymore and deciding. So that's the overview for today's video. Let's dive right into self-concept and perception. Okay, so if you've studied Neville Goddard before, then you know a lot of his material talks about your concept of yourself creates the world in which you live, right? So if you view yourself as a failure type person, then no matter how much conscious effort you put into trying to achieve something, you're always going to live up to whatever your self-concept is. And this isn't just a principle by Neville Goddard. This is actually something that you see well documented in psychology, well documented in a person or an individual self-image. So we can put a lot of conscious effort into trying to achieve the things that we want. But at a core level, if we don't actually believe we're good enough, then at some point we're going to either sabotage it or mess up in a way to where we don't actually get to sustain that experience in our life. So that's one thing. That's why your self concept is important. But the other thing that I've really started to realize in my journey and just, coaching and working with so many different people is you have to see that, yeah, having a good self concept, it's not just, oh, I think I'm deserving, I think I'm worthy. It's not just these blanket statements that you're telling yourself to soothe yourself. Okay. I think some people are getting a little bit confused with understanding why you're focusing on your beliefs. Yes, there is an aspect of it where you're soothing yourself, right? If I'm constantly being triggered by everything that's occurring in my reality, then I need to find a way to find peace and stability within myself. That is one aspect of it. But aside from that, when you actually understand that you are creating your reality, okay, there's really no other way that I can say that. You are the deciding factor in your life as to how people are going to show up for you and how things are going to unfold. I know it can feel like people are doing things to you. I know it can seem like, how am I supposed to change this or really get these desired results if life is happening to me? That's why I say in my intro, life's not happening to you, it's happening through you. When you become very, very aware that you actually do have the power to change the things in your life and create the relationships that you desire and get the money that you desire, and it all starts within, that is going to be where you recognize how important self concept is. Okay. So it's not just these blanket statements of like, I'm the best option, although that is a part of it. I'm the best option. I don't even like to say I'm the best option as an affirmation because it's like there's no other options. Like there's no comparison. There's nothing to compare to, right? You want to see yourself as like the one, especially in a relationship, not in a like conceited fashion, but to see that there's just nothing, there's no other option. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, when you get your self concept in alignment, okay, that's going to be where you're able to sustain your results because it's also forming your perception of your reality. Okay, that's the next thing that I want to talk about. But before we get into perception and beliefs, I do want to touch on looking at everything as feedback. Okay. Because I'll get messages from people and they'll say, like, my parents did this to me growing up, or I went through these experiences. Did I create these people to do this to me? Okay. And the one thing that I want to say when it comes to your self concept is I'm not like, I don't believe in past lives. I don't believe in, or I don't resonate with like using crystals or anything like that. I really genuinely see that throughout our development years, we pick up beliefs about our world. We're socialized about our world. We pick up beliefs surrounding relationships. We pick up perceptions about how things should be based on how we're culture, the culture we grow up in, the household we grow up in, the friends that we're surrounded by, the community that we're in. And so as grown adults, if we don't go in there and figure out what beliefs we dominantly hold, whether they're good or bad or wherever they come from, unfortunately, we're going to keep recreating the same stuff in our life. So it's not for you to take responsibility for how people showed up in your past per se, okay, in your childhood or the events and the things that occurred to you growing up. It's about deciding to become conscious and realize if there's patterns that are occurring in your life, if you keep going from relationship to relationship to relationship, or you keep having the same experience in a career, or you keep noticing these patterns that are repeating, no matter who is involved, it keeps unfolding the same way. There's a common denominator there. And that common denominator is you, which is not it's not like it's not supposed to be a message where it's like, yeah, you're the problem. Okay. That's not what I'm trying to say because I don't want you to get hard on yourself. It's actually a beautiful realization to say, wow, it's not happening to me. Like, it's happening within me. There's something going on here. And once I figure that out and I can change that, I can actually create the life that I desire. It should be a very empowering realization. But the thing that I really wanted to touch on here was looking at everything as feedback. So when you are going through this change of creating what it is that you want for your life, okay, so you're changing your beliefs and you get somebody showing up acting in a way that's undesirable, okay? I see like some people being like, how did I create this? Why is this person showing up this way? Okay. You can really take a deep dive and take accountability and figure out how this unfolded if you want to. But my better suggestion is not to take full responsibility for how people are showing up. It's more, how do you want to respond to it? Like, you need to figure out exactly what it is that you want Okay, so if you are getting a rejection or you're getting a no or you're getting something undesirable showing up in your reality, okay, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I want? Okay, how do I want to respond to this? Do I want to feel like this is very difficult? Do I want to victimize myself over this? Do I want to cry about this? Do I want to sit here and be hurt about this, which may be valid, or and feel like it's never going to change, which again could be valid, or do I want to do I really want to hone in on what it is that I want in the version of me that can create that, disregarding this, seeing this as feedback for me to see what beliefs I can strengthen within myself and how I can persist in a more stable feeling state to get that desired result. Okay. So what I'm saying here is you don't want to take responsibility for every single thing people are doing to you. You have a choice in how you want to perceive it. You have a choice in deciding whether or not you want, what is your desired outcome in this situation. And then if you do want to get a very specific outcome, if you're getting the opposite, then you just adjust your approach to get that outcome. The main thing here that I'm trying to say too is you don't want to get stuck on how people are showing up, okay? Or undesirable circumstances are showing up. You need to be able to look at things and say, oh, okay, that's what happened. I can see it. Thank you very much. That's some feedback there. What do I want to adjust in myself that's going to put me in alignment with what I actually want? And I'm taking this experience here and growing from it. Okay. We want to turn everything into a growth process. That's the main thing that I want to say here. And that kind of relates to what I was just talking about previously with the whole belief systems and where you pick it up, right? We don't want to look like if you had not the best childhood or not the best example of relationships, or you didn't have like parents that were wealthy or had a large amount of money, growing up, you don't want to look at them and say like I created them to be this way. That's why my life sucks. No, you want to look at it like, okay, that occurred. What am I learning from that? What don't I want to repeat from that? And how can I persist forward with getting what it is that I actually want? I'm looking at this as feedback. Now I'm aware of it. Now, how do I want to adjust my approach? Okay. Next thing I want to talk about though is perception and beliefs. So, your perception of your reality, this is really, really important to understand, you guys. Okay. If you want to get very proficient at manifesting what it is that you want in your life, the reason why self concept is so important is because it's what's forming your awareness of your reality. So if I don't have a really good self concept, okay, let's say I'm faced with rejection, right? I'm faced with a challenging circumstance and nothing is going the way that I want it to go. If I have not the best beliefs about myself, so I have beliefs like I'm defeated, I can never do it, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not strong enough, this is extremely difficult, this isn't easy for me, I don't know what to do, I don't know what the answer is, it's never going to change. Okay, if that's what your beliefs are, then when challenges pop up, that's you're going to feel into it, and your reality, the way you're perceiving it, is going to keep you stuck. Okay, what is really manifesting is your awareness and how you're feeling and how well you're able to persist in this feeling state and this knowing that you're going to get what you want. If you can go straight to the end and you're knowing and you can stay in that feeling state, you should be able to manifest things pretty fastly. You're going to get knocked out of that feeling state if you have limiting beliefs. Okay. So, for instance, if I get rejected and instead of having that old belief system that I just listed, I have a belief system like I'm worthy, I'm stable, I'm secure. The answers, ideas, inspiration always come to me. Getting the relationship that I desire is extremely easy. Commitment is extremely easy for me to materialize. I'm always able to create the solution. I'm always feeling calm and relaxed. I know that I can be, do, and have anything. I know that I can always achieve exactly what it is that I want. If that's what I have programmed in my mind, then no matter what's showing up, if people are telling me it's never going to happen for you, or I'm getting a lot of resistance in my reality, I'm going to be sitting there feeling pretty freaking good, kind of smiling at what's going on, being like, yep, okay, it's fine. I know I'm going to get what I want. Sure. Tell me it's impossible. I don't really care. I'm not feeling into it. Right. You're going to be, it's going to be kind of like you're going to be a little bit more of like a G in that sense where you're so stable within yourself because your awareness of your reality, the perception and the way you are looking at the things that are occurring isn't even throwing you off because you at a core level already feel like, you can achieve this. This isn't a problem for you. If that's where your belief system is and that's the perception of your reality that you're forming, you're going to be able to hold a feeling state that is in alignment with what you want to create. Okay. That's the key thing here. So when you're manifesting, when you are creating this change, when you want to align with something, You want to go to the end. You want to feel it real. So when we look at Neville Goddard, what does he talk about? It's the concept that you have of yourself, and feeling is the secret. So if I can get a really, really good belief system in alignment, then my perception and my awareness of my reality is going to feel limitless. I'm not going to feel intimidated by the things that are going on around me. I'm going to be able to see it as feedback. I'm going to be able to deal with it. I'm not going to feel into it. I'm going to be able to create a feeling state within myself, sustain that feeling state, and know that I'm going to get what I want. That's why your self-concept is really important, though. Okay. Because if you have limiting beliefs and you're getting constantly triggered by everything that's going on around you, there's no way you're going to be able to actually align your feeling state, right? And it makes sense. If I'm constantly being triggered and feeling defeated, how am I going to stay in a state where I feel aligned with what I want to experience? There has to be a part of you that disidentifies with this old story and no longer allows for how things that are showing up to intimidate you or make you feel like you can't get what you want. Okay. And that's why your beliefs are really, really important. So that leads me to the next point, which I already kind of touched on. This is going to be a quicker video, you guys. We're not going to be doing like a 40-minute video. These are just some concepts that I wanted to go over again. It's the feeling state that you're aligning to. So techniques that you use, I've been seeing people comment on my channel, when do I use a technique? Do I need to use a technique, or do I just need to get my self-concept in alignment and shift my feeling state? Techniques, where people get messed up with techniques being like a visualization, scripting, or affirming for something, where people get messed up with techniques, in my opinion, is they're doing the technique to feel better. They're not doing it because they're already aligned to that feeling state. Okay. So it's not bad to do a technique to feel better. It's just when you are already dominantly existing in a calm feeling state, the way that you would feel if you had what you wanted, then you go in and do this technique, and it just helps take you deeper into that feeling. And then you come out of it and you move on with your day pleasantly. Right. So when you actually get your feeling state aligned, if you can shift your beliefs and form a new perception of your reality and maintain a new feeling state, then when it comes to persisting, you can just do that sparingly. You can set up a structure to your day to do that, or you can just know that you're going to get what you want. But the main thing here is anything that helps you keep your feeling state aligned is going to be what you want to do. So it's really up to you whether you want to do this on a basis, whether you want to sit there and put a schedule to your day where you do whatever affirmations are visual like twice a day, then do that if that feels good to you. If you just can exist in this feeling state and this knowing, and that's good enough for you, then that's good enough for you. By any means necessary, though, when you're done working on your self-concept, which means you come into a new awareness of your reality, you're no longer feeling intimidated by the things that are going on around you. Your only job is to keep your feeling state aligned. Okay. So what does that mean? There's no limitations on that. Anything that helps you feel the way you would feel if you had what you wanted, that's going to be what you do. Okay. So I see people asking, can I date other people? Can I do this? Can I do that? There really shouldn't be any limitation. If it helps you feel the way you would feel if you had what you wanted, then do that. Because all you're doing is shifting your awareness of your reality, aligning to a new feeling state, and pleasantly expecting the outcome. So anything that's going to help you keep that feeling state aligned, do it. Okay. It could be the techniques, or it could be just physically going out to your reality and doing things that really help influence you, that help you stay aligned to that feeling state. Okay. But you should notice the main thing here that I want to say with your self-concept, you should notice when you actually make a self-concept change that your awareness of your reality changes. Okay. So if you're still sitting here looking at all the circumstances and you're saying, how am I going to change this? How am I going to change this person's opinion? This looks impossible. I feel like I'm getting rejected. How am I going to make all these things occur? You're still seeing problems and limitations. That's where you want to work on your self-concept. Because once your self-concept is aligned, then you should be able to see that you can create the solution. You feel really confident with that. You don't really get knocked off by anything, and you're able to hold this pleasant knowing. Okay. Alrighty. So that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I love you all so much. I hope you gained something from this video. Remember that you can create the change if it's important enough to you. Just make sure you're taking an approach that feels good. You're actually working on your beliefs, and you're aware of what you're feeling, and you're doing what helps you feel better. Okay. Alrighty. I love you all so much. Bye.